Shalom. First thing and foremost, I want to give all praises and glory and honor that's due to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakakadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone and rule well. Peace and blessings and salutations to the hopeful elect. Noise in the gospel, broad, lifting up the standard of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, wherever it may be. This is another lesson through the Spirit, kind of in response into a few videos that was going around. As you know, we was basically responding to a video that this guy Al-Azhar did when he went on, I believe it was posted to the food community when he was Salakia, but when he was basically going into things on the history of the tribes. And it was one thing that stood out that we kind of harbored on when he mentioned that Yahweh Shai could come back today or within 1,000 years. And in many cases, you know, it's not a wrong statement, which he did say, but it's the mindset behind what he said. And the reason why brothers really hopped on it, and he called it attacking, but it's not attacking, it's really correcting, because you see right through these guys. We've seen how they move, we know the stances, we know the worldliness of these dudes, man, and you know, we can understand the scriptures say that a prudent man can foresee evil far off, roughly paraphrasing it. And the spiritual man judgeth all things. So through the spirit, you're able to kind of discern. I won't say kind of. You're able to discern in most cases on where God's spirit is at, or you know how He's moving and operating in the spirit. And this guy's operating in a total left spirit. You know, while watering down the teaching of the ministry, trying to promote his brand name. All right, it's not the fact that you say Yahweh Shai come back within here a 1,000-year period, which that's technically, I mean, that's off because we know that we have way less than 1,000 years, you know. But let's just say, in theory, right, that wasn't the case or whatever. It's the mindset that you propose behind what you're saying, because it feels like that you're promoting a way to make it in Babylon. And why we're not telling brothers to be bums, and we're not telling brothers to not do things to better themselves. Like, we push brothers to start businesses and work and, you know, work out, keep their health. We do these things, but we also hasten in the day, okay? We're not holding off the evil day of the Lord, okay? Because we're not hell-bent on trying to rub elbows with the society to a high degree like a lot of you Israelites are. And you use the ministry in order to get the ways of the world, okay? So it was one thing I wanted to address when he did his little response video, you know, which we could see right through these dudes, man. All right, that fake, humble, and sad shit. A double-minded man is unstable in all his ways, man. And like the scripture said, a deceitful man has many trains. You know, this video here shows when he was, this was back in 2017, when he went down to the apostles and they was going over the whole thing of grape or to lay hold, you know, which has been a big controversy in Israel. For whatever reason, every time we get on these dudes, they always want to come back and throw this shit in our face, like we're telling men out there to go and partake in these acts, which according to the Bible, we just break it down that there were customs in the Bible that was specifically kept, and then there was a law in case your daughter got grabbed up and got taken by a man. Okay, there was laws for it, okay? And there was a law put in place because technically the penalty for that was paying a dowry. All right, but it was not punishable unto death, because ultimately the woman is the property of the father. And if you covered the property of the father, then you had to pay him for it, unless she was married to another man. Then there would be a death sentence behind it, okay? So they like to throw that shit and say that we're teaching people to go out and do these things when that's clearly not the case. All right, we're teaching according to the scriptures what the Bible says, but yet these guys claim to be teachers of the Most High and scholars of the Most High, and they got all this research and doing all these deep and breakdown and extravagant debates, but yet they can't seem to break down Deuteronomy 22 and 27. You know, that's like all over their fucking heads, man. All right, but he made a point in the response video that he mentioned that, well, you know, the ministry has a bad look to some degree, and I want to make sure, you know, that we're not painted in a bad light. Well, for one thing, you're going off because it ain't your fucking job to make the world love you, bro. And just that mindset, when he said that, I'm like, yeah, this dude ain't right, man. Because I get it. You know, you don't want to just be a blatant demon, or you don't want to just come off like an asshole. I mean, fuck coming off like an asshole. So what? But when it comes to certain things you're teaching in the scriptures, and if people can't receive it, then fuck them. It ain't for them anyway. Now, when you doing things like showing up at insurrections and all this other stuff, or protests which can turn violent, and you got sticks on the hip, and you trying to promote some type of platform to make yourself seem like you're just these magnificent individuals, and you get caught up in some shit, then that's getting the ministry blamed, man. Okay? You're just doing damage control, my boy. That's all you're doing is damage control, trying to act like you saving face for the ministry because you're going on fucking podcasts like Adam 22 or No Jumper 22, the food community, the unconscious community, which all them dudes are a bunch of goddamn demons anyway. All right, Adam 22 letting his wife get banged out. Did you rebuke him on that shit? Talking about, well, I want it because the world, talking about like GMS has painted a bad narrative of this Israelite ministry. Get the fuck out of here, man. Okay, you don't see brothers pulling up at camp with guns and, you know, inciting riots and all this other stuff, man, and talking about Yahushua was a black identity extremist. That's you niggas. You know, now I will admit, you know, we did have some, and it's among all Israelite groups, but, you know, we'll take accountability. We did have some immature moments, man, especially when you come into the truth from the world. You know, you see the apostles, how they was on fire, you know, and you was angry at the world, you know, and you was finally make sense, that zeal, that vigor. Yeah, a lot of us did act out. You know, we screamed and yelled and cursed people out, but that come with growth. You know, and a lot of them guys that was being uncircumspect, you know, a lot of them dudes ain't around no more. Prime example, the guy y'all would call, you know, San Francisco, the Bay Area GMS, they have made, you know, they have made national headlines a few times within the YouTube community based on that guy y'all would call and how fucking just belligerent he was, man. You know? So, yeah, I'm not going to say that we didn't have immature individuals among us. We did, but we lived and we grow. Okay, you don't see us doing that now. You don't see us inciting fights or screaming across the street, down the street, fuck you, motherfucker. Now, if the spirit hops on us and we have to rebuke somebody, it will. But, you know, we keep it within reason now. All right, so he made one. He went to 1 Corinthians, the 4th chapter, 13 verse, and I'm going to go into that because he tried to read that. Okay, well, he did read it, but he tried to justify it and make it seem like he's going before the world to be just like, dude, you don't have to justify us before nobody. Okay, Yahushua is the one that's going to justify us. We don't give a damn how this world look at us. It ain't. We don't care about how the world. You want to get the love of the world because the love of the Father is not in you. You know, so that's the part that really stood out to me. I'm like, this dude is really like he's afraid. Like he's trying to get the love of the world. But yeah, you call yourself a minister of Yahushua, which the Sakari never followed Yahushua. Okay, I went into the history on the Sakari a while ago, a few years ago, even within our classes. I taught a class on it, you know, within our camp, man. And we went into the history of the Sakari and how they never followed Yahushua, and they looked at his stance as a stand of cowardice, you know. But anyway, it's not going to be a long lesson. Let's get a couple of precepts here. Let's go to 1 Corinthians. Why the hell do I have it twice? I have it twice. Why do I have it twice? I don't know why. But it's all good. It's all good. It's all good. Yep, because it's the same chapter, essentially. So this is the book of 1 Corinthians 4. And this goes into the servants of Yahushua. Okay, now you got to understand that there were always skirmishes in the church. Okay, this is why certain epistles was written to churches, because you had a lot of back and forth between the religious sects, the scribes, the Pharisees, the Sadducees, you know, the apostles. There was always bickerings among the camp. So for those of you that may say, only thing y'all do is talk about each other. Well, you know, that's part of the ministry. That's part of the gospel. Scriptures say, honestly contend for the faith. But he didn't tell us to go on podcasts and sell out and try to pander to the world to get them to like us. That's not our stance, bro. Okay, we don't care how Adam 22 or Sarnetta or any of them guys look at us, because they not right anyway. So this is the book of 1 Corinthians 4, and I'm going to start at verses 1. It says, let a man so account of us as of the ministers of Yahushua and stewards of the mysteries of the Most High. Okay, and when you go into the word minister, when you minister into somebody, or when you minister into someone, it goes into the word hypertes, right? And it means anybody who serves with hands, a servant, officers or attendees of magistrates, which is judges, right? Of the officer who executes penalties, the attendants of kings, servants, or anyone who aids in any work or assistant or a preacher of the gospel. Okay, so we're preachers of the gospel. You know, so somebody when they say minister, that means that they're a preacher or a teacher, or they're ministers, teachers of the gospel, right? And it says, moreover, it is required in stewards that a man be found faithful. Okay, and it ain't talking about being faithful in the dealings of this world, because you want to sensationalize to get people to look at the ministry a certain way. You alone can't justify Israel, bro. And that's that God complex, that hype, that I want to be the high chief priest. Like, you're not Yahushua, bro. Okay, Yahushua ultimately is going to justify us. We will never be justified before this world, bro. Okay, because remember, the scriptures say that if the world hates you, know that it hated me before it hated you, because I testified that the works were evil. So come on, man. Oh, I want the minute where, because y'all give Israel a bad look. I want to go and I want to speak up for the nation, man. Lord, don't give a fuck about all that pandering to them people, man. Okay, if anything, you coming with the unadulterated message, pure message, they gonna hate you. See, but you guys, like it tells us, why trim is thy ways to seek love? You have to go on there and water shit down. Like the whole time on a podcast, you kept saying Jesus, Christ, and God. Now I get it. You got to get subtlety to the simple, and you have to, for edification's sakes, of course. And you did mention the name Yahweh and Yahweh Shai, but that's supposed to have been a foundational premise, man. Not ministering to try to make yourself or promote your platform. Like a brother said, he said, look, if you wasn't getting what you call donations, you probably wouldn't even be doing no videos, man, because money is these men motivation. And that's pretty much what brothers was responding to when you mentioned the fact that Yahweh Shai won't come back 1,000 years from now. And brothers was basically saying because you are of the world. Okay, it's not necessarily what you said the brothers had a problem with, but it's just your mindset, because you really don't want this world to end. And that's just the reality of it, bro. That's really what brothers are calling out. Okay, as far as you say that the Lord can come back from now into 1,000 years, nobody's scoffing that. But ideally, we know that that's not the case. Okay, if the Most High want to come back 100 years from now, he can, but that's not the case. We really believe that's not the case. But the scriptures do say that no man know the day nor hour but my Father. It's in the power of the Father. But according to prophecy, man, this thing is very close. So for you even mentioning that and you knowing that this thing is close, we question where your spirit is at. And that's really what it's all about. And the fact that you threw a jab at us and stated that, oh, I ain't gonna be like no doomsday preacher. That was a jab at us, nigga. We know what it was, man. So come on, bro. Like, out of all the fake ass tears and I'm sorry, the nation pray, get the hell out of here, man. If anybody can't see through your grotesque acting, can't nobody see through your cult of personality, is because they sincerely have daddy issues, man. Like, I could spot a fake nigga a mile away, and bro, you fake. Okay, the spirit is not with you. Okay, it's because you read a lot of books or some books and you take from this and this and that don't make you a man of the Most High. You see? But whatever, man. But it says, but with me, it is a very small thing that I should be judged of you or of men's judgment. But yea, I will not judge my own self. I will not judge my own self. It says, for I know nothing by myself, yet I am not hereby justified. Right. Trying to justify shit, man. And it says, but he that judgeth me is the Lord. Okay. So it says, therefore, judge nothing before the time until the Lord come, who will both bring the light to the hidden things of darkness and will make a manifest of the counsels of the hearts. And then shall every man have praise in the Most High. But I want to jump down here to verses. I want to jump down here to verses 9. And it says, for I think that Yahweh have set forth us the apostles last. And that's what that word apostle means, to send forth. But it says here, as it were appointed to death, for we are made the spectacle unto the world, and to angels and to men. And when you think of spectacle, when somebody says spectate, that means that it's like a public display. Okay, so this is why we go out to the heads of the streets and we teach. But looking up the definition here in the blue letter, the word spectacle goes into theatron. And when you think of a theater, you think of like a movie, a display, right? A projection, spectacle, spectate. And it says here, theater, a place in which games and dramatic spectacles are exhibited, and the public assemblies held for the Greeks using theater, a public show, a man who was exhibited to be gazed at and made sport of. And in this case, you know, we exemplify more of definition 2A, a man who was exhibited to be gazed at and made a sport of, because I mean, people do make sport of us. You know, people, prime example, oh, y'all Great Millstone, y'all teach that Deuteronomy 27, you know, all that other bullshit that these niggas are teaching. You know, they always run to that grape shit to cop out and do damage control, because basically they're playing on the mind of these simpletons in Israel, man, because they know most of these Israelites that follow them don't have working brain cells to discern what the fuck is being said. And that's just the real talk of it, man. A lot of you dudes in Israel, you are simple as all hell. And just because a nigga come up with a Nike brand and a fitted hat and a couple of bars, man, you niggas think you found the Messiah. You know? That's why a lot of you jakes, man, you're going to be confounded. Once this chip be manifested, a lot of you jakes are going to be confounded. Even those of you that know it's the chip, because you're not rooted. Okay? A lot of you dudes ain't rooted. Okay? You simply go to YouTube to be entertained. You know? We supposed to be teaching the scriptures, but yeah, we having a podcast on a fucking boxing match. Like, we supposed to be edifying here, man. And it says here, and it says, for we are fools for Yahweh Shai's sake. Yeah, because we've been called fools, man. We go out there, you know, we look foolish. People look at us, they mock us, they scoff. Some people like us. A lot of people hate us. Some people indifferent. You know, people are still trying to figure it out. You know, people is kind of making their selections on whether this is where they need to be or not. All right, but it says, we are fools for Yahweh Shai's sake, but ye are wise in Yahweh Shai. We are weak, but ye are strong. Ye are honorable, but we are despised. So we are going to be despised before this word, bro, before this world. Okay, it's not your job to go over there and try to do damage control or try to make these people have a positive insight on it. The whole point of us waking up to these nations is supposed to make them feel uncomfortable, fam. Why the hell you think it tells us in Revelation, the 11th chapter, it says that, behold, their enemies beheld them and they were afraid. When we got beamed up and when we stood on our feet, hey, these nations are afraid. So we are a spectacle, bro. It's supposed to be negative to them. And that's not saying going out there and deliberately making yourself a bad person, but just the message itself and the stands that we have towards this world is supposed to make the people that's not of the Lord uncomfortable, man. That's what it's supposed to do. So for you trying to go and fix that, the spirit is not with you. I don't give a damn what anybody say. So going here, spectacle, right? Several definitions. It says a visually striking performance or display. All right. It says an event or scene regarding in terms of its visual impact. Okay. And the fact that we're waking up, we are on the streets. That's a visual impact, because some people come around, some people listen, some people walk by, they make the comments. Some people come up and they deal, they ask questions, and then some people join the camp. And it says here, the spectacle of a city's mass grief. All right. Make a spectacle of oneself, to draw attention to oneself by behaving in a ridiculous way in public. She was making a spectacle unto herself for childish outbursts. And that's not saying be childish, but you know, when we in the spirit and we deal with demons and scoffers, and yeah, we do get a little abrasive with people sometimes. I mean, it happens. Okay, just like I said, like a lot of guys that was among us, you know, they did make a lot of immature. We all done immature shit. I've done immature shit, in the truth, man. Okay, several times. And when I reflect back on it, I was like, damn, we was kind of wild, you know. But we grow from them things, and we tend to not make those same childish mistakes, so to speak. Not even calling them mistakes, but you just want to be more wise, because it wasn't like we were sinning or going off. It just, sometimes you just gotta have a balanced zeal, you know, like the ex-Bay or the ex-head from the Bay Area, man. That dude was off the chain, man. You know, like really off the chain. You know what I'm saying? And when you see something like that, it's like, damn, these guys are really fucking nuts, man. But even then, you know, it is what it is. So it says, going down here, it says spectacle has multiple meanings, including a notable event, an object or curiosity, or a pair of glasses, right? Lens, scopeo, watch, Memorable event that's created for its appearance, a public display, or performance, especially one that shows or showy or ceremonial. Even you guys are being spectacles when you go on these podcasts and promote sensationalism. You know, want to be PC. And a lot of it has to do with money. And that's just really what it is. It's just the stance you dudes take on the world. Do you really hate the world or are you really for it? You know, because when the money comes in and you know you living comfortably, you got a nice crib, you got multiple wives, you know, money is coming in, you ain't really, you know, you ain't doing too bad. You really don't have nothing against this world. You know, the greenback is doing pretty good for you. So it's treating you pretty good. So you don't really have a reason to hate the world. You know what I'm saying? So that's the spirit that a lot of you guys seem like you coming in. And that's pretty much our stance on it, if it makes sense. But it says an unusual or interesting object or phenomenon, a strange or remarkable sight. Definitely that. A public show or exposition or exhibition on a grand scale. An object of curiosity or contempt. Definitely. It says something that suggests a pair of glasses, such as natural markings on an animal, or a device used to correct defect visions, darken or polarize, blase, blase. All right. Etymology word comes from the Latin word, which means a public show. The street style is a spectacle in its own right. So that's pretty much, that's what it is. So we're going to be an offscourging and a spectacle into these people. All right. Our job is to not love the world. We're not promoting this. We're not forwarding this world, bro. And a lot of you Israelites seem like you're forwarding this world. And that's what's kind of making brothers go, why would he say something like that? Okay. Not necessarily what you said, but it's the spirit behind what you said. Okay. Because a man can say something and mean and have a totally different meaning to it. Okay. And you got to be in the spirit to discern that. And the guys are pissed off because it's like, how y'all going to say that? Easy. We discern, bro. But it says here, but we are despised. But even into this present hour, we both hunger and thirst and are naked and are buffeted, man. And you guys ain't hungry. You ain't naked. You ain't thirsty for this word, man. You don't want to suffer for this word. And we're not telling you to go lay under a bridge and don't brush your teeth or comb your hair or your beard. But at the same time, man, if you doing your Howard Shy service, you're going to run into some problems, bro. Whether it be in the family, finances, health, something is going to afflict you while you in this ministry. But when things are all good, not saying that, you know, things are always good in brothers or in your life or whoever's lives that's promoting this shit. And I'm talking about like as far as outside of, you know, these sensational camps like Nate. Yeah, things go wrong in their lives. But when you got money, sometimes money, like the scriptures say, man, you know, riches causes a man to forget poverty, bro. When you got riches, it's like, okay, money can fix pretty much any problem you have if you got enough of it, you know? So that's what we're saying. But it says are buffeted and have no certain dwelling places, and labor, working with our own hands, being reviled, we bless, being persecuted, we suffer it. Okay. And you guys, man, you may go through your little street skirmishes, but at the end of the day, man, you're not really being persecuted. Okay. Because when it comes down to life and death, who's really calling for your demise, man? Okay. Who's really calling to see your ass behind bars? You know what I'm saying? But when it comes to us, hey, these other camps, these men, like I've always told brothers, I said, hey, be on guard because eventually motherfuckers may start coming up trying to attack us, man. Okay, motherfucker may pop up at your place of employment. They may pop up at the fucking at your pop's doctor's appointment or taking him to the Social Security office to get his money. Anything, man. You just never know with these dudes. Okay, because it's getting ready to get real grimy out here. Okay, prime example, when you go into Romans the 6th chapter and the 7th chapters, they basically was accusing Stephen of saying blasphemous things, which he was just speaking the words of Yahushua. And they took Yahushua's stance and made it that of one of basically a domestic terrorist, man. They made him the bad guy. You know, they made him the bad guy when he was basically just repeating what the Most High and what the prophets were saying. And this is what they're doing to us. Okay, these guys know that we ain't graping no goddamn body, man. Like, we don't, bro, like, seriously? Like, the culture doesn't even cause for that. And even then, that wasn't a natural ceremony, you know. We had arranged marriages. Now, if it did happen, there was a dowry to pay for it. That's why the law was put there in case that did happen. But you act like we just telling motherfuckers to go out there and do that shit, when in fact, brothers could just go get wives and be traditional, so to speak. You know what I'm saying? So they're using that to basically come up against us, man. And people, you know, guys they ain't have cocked all the way. The guys that got emotional issues, they're mama's boys, they're simps. They'll try to hurt brothers behind that shit, man. So, hey, brothers, just be careful, man. You know, anything ain't nothing off the table at this point. But it says here, being defamed, we entreated, and that's part of being defamed. It says we entreat, we are made as the filth of the world, and as in our of the offscourging of all things unto this day, man. All right. So we are the filth of the world. All right. So it ain't your job to go and try to correct people's perception on his ministry, bro. Okay. That ain't the job. You just using that because you want to get rich, man. Okay. But it ain't your fucking job to go and try to correct shit that we're talking. That ain't your job, man. You know, this ministry is supposed to be looked at in a bad light, even if it is coming out PC, so to speak. Now, when you go into the word outscourging, right, it goes into, what is it? Parasima, which means what is wiped off, dirt rubbed off, outscourging, scrapings, right? Outscouring. Hold on, let me get it better. Outscouring here, look up. Someone who was rejected by society, outcast, right? And we are rejected. Hell yeah, Yahushua was rejected. All right? It says he was a man acquainted with grief and many sorrows. Yahushua was rejected. But you guys, are you really trying to be rejected by this? You guys ain't. You guys don't want to be rejected by this world. Because if you're rejected, then ultimately your opportunities cease. You know, so I'm not buying that. Oh, well, you know, when I got the opportunity to go out there and speak highly of our nation, fuck these people, man. Okay, now the scriptures do say be a light unto them. We're supposed to be as a beacon of light. We're supposed to pretty much, scriptures go into roughly paraphrasing it, the light of a city on a hill can't be hid, roughly paraphrasing it. But overall, man, you know, teaching his word, that is a light unto the elect. But as far as the world and the nation's perception on us, bro, that's something Yahushua has to sort out. It ain't our job to do that, to make these people like us. But it says, I write not these things to shame you, but as my beloved sons, I warn you. Okay? So that's part of it. Paul wasn't trying to go and appear to be righteous before. Well, I won't say righteous, but he didn't go and try to appease the perception or the negative perceptions these men had on them, man. Because we ultimately knew that Yahushua's stance against this world was that of a averse one, that the world would not receive, man. This is why the scripture said that the world couldn't receive Yahushua, man. And a lot of you Israelites don't receive Yahushua. You see? So let's go here, another precept. Oh, well, it's the same precept here. Tripping. But let's go here. Matthew 10:22. And this is the King James Version. It says, and ye should be hated by all men for my name's sake. Okay? It says all men. So no matter what you do, how erratic you may sound, how well-versed you may be, how politically correct you may sound, at the end of the day, if you fall on Yahushua, you're going to still be hated. Okay? You can teach a nigga the truth today, he'll still hate you tomorrow. And it says, and ye should be hated by all men for my name's sake, but he that endureth to the end shall be saved. So that's just what it is. All right? We ain't here to make this world like us. Fuck this world. Give a damn about these people, man. Because just as much as they hate us, we can't stand them either. And the reason it says here, and you should be hated of all men for my name's sake, but he that endureth to the end, the same should be saved. All right? Let's go into the AMP version. And it says here, and you will be hated by everyone because of your association with my name, Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. And we see why certain guys call on Christ, because there's really no hatred towards the word Christ. Though you do have so-called Christians being persecuted due to their so-called Christian faith. But overall, man, the world hates Yahushai because Christianity comes with the more worldly friendly approach. Yahushai doesn't. This is why it tells us that he that cometh and preaching another Yahushai that we have not preached, you may very well bear with it, man. All right. But it says, but it is the one who has patiently preserved and endured to the end who will be saved. All right. So anyway, I'm going to end it giving all praises and glory and honor that's due to Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. Lord's will, you will edify. To the next lesson. Shalom.